Coach, what kind of goes into disguising coverages each week for you, just in terms of, are you looking at QB tendencies, schematics, or just kind of all the above?
I think there's a lot. I mean, you're laughing as you ask the question. I think there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, I can't get obviously in too much detail, but there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of thought by Coach O'Leary and Coach Mickens in terms of how they want to present and what we got to do. And so yeah, there's no doubt. There's a lot of thought that goes into that weekly, and the kids do a great job executing it.
And then what? You've kind of talked about it in the past, but what challenges does Clemson's tempo offense present defenses?
Well, look, first of all, they're really talented. I think the tight end, there's a couple of really good tight ends. Number 9 is playing at a really high level. Obviously, the slot has come up big for them as a freshman. Length and speed on the perimeter. Running backs, 3 that we'll see in the game. So then you got the tempo, you got the multiplicity of personnel groups, the formation in the motions, whether it's jet motion or the halfback. Coach does a great job. Riley does a great job, with their presentation and the challenges that they have, and obviously they have the arsenal, to challenge you, to make you, defend the entire field, and I think that's what makes them a really good offense.
Coach, recently your team, the defense has been good all year, but recently it's kind of reached another level, and Coach Freeman says, this is not like the cap for you guys. What's been the key to the success of just playing fast and creating turnovers, creating havoc?
Yeah, I think the coaches are doing a great job. I think our staff is doing an excellent job. I think the leadership, the practice habits, when you give me a question, I'm kind of reflecting as I go here, and I would say the practice habits today included have been really, really good. That preceded the results. We saw a different level in practice as of late, and we have to continue it consistently. That's the challenge. So I think that's it. In terms of the level we're trying to go to, we're trying to get to the level we need to do to have success this Saturday against a great Clemson offense. So that's our challenge right now.
And then Cade Klubnik, a different quarterback than DJ from last year, but we did see Cade late in the game. What type of pressure does he put on the defense?
Well, again, I think he can beat you with his feet. He's got a big league arm. He can move he can move the pocket, whether that's boots. And then he's got a great release, a quick release on the RPO game. He can get it out to the perimeter, whether it's the bubble, the tunnel screen, the RPO game, and let his playmakers go. So, yeah, again, they're going to make you defend the entire field. They're a challenge, and I know they got our guys' attention.
And then not having Benjamin Morrison last week, but him possibly being back this week with Cam Hart, having those two on the field, what has it meant to the defense this season? And they put that experienced linebacker group in front of them.
What has it meant to
have both Cam Hart and Ben?
First, big picture, right? The lesson for our defense and for our younger guys is, there's a standard to play defense here, right? And just because you're next up doesn't mean that you're playing at that standard. And I think what Mickey and Christian did is showed themselves, their teammates, everybody, that they can play at that standard. So I was so happy for them and proud of them. I don't want to play too many games without the other two, having said that. So certainly there's a place for Mick and Christian to rep and rotate in there. But having Cam and Ben back has been great. It's really hard to outwork those two. They work really hard in their preparation. Coach Mick does a phenomenal job with them. And, obviously, having them back is great, and they both look good today, so I'm excited about that.
Coach, has there been any improvements that you've seen from the Navy game up to Pittsburgh in the defense?
Yeah, no, I think there has been, both an individual performance and then the collective, unit. So it's hard to just point to a couple. But again, I think it all starts with practice. I think we're seeing the ball better. We're converting on our plays better, meaning if we have an opportunity to take the ball away, we're taking it away. And whether that's, causing a fumble or interception or batting a ball. People don't realize how many batted balls we had in the USC game, which led to, turnovers. Last week in Pitt, again, interceptions, all of those things. I think our tackling has improved, and we're going to be challenged Saturday with this group. But I think our tackling and our attention to detail and our ability to trust our technique, especially in our space tackles, has improved. So, again, we just got to focus. We had an early down day today, get the third down package tonight, come over tomorrow, rep that, and just give everything we have to this Clemson game.
What do you think of Drake Williams' performance in his, first extended action?
Good. He's been practicing better. I'm glad he got in. It means a lot to him. He works really hard. He prepares really hard. And again, we always say, if you want a promotion, master your current role. And his current role for the last month has been special teams, and he's been really, really good at it. Kickoff coverage, really, really good. Those types of things. So that warrants more playing time. So now, hopefully we'll see him continue to, progress in early downs, and then we'll go from there.
All right, thanks, Al.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Coach, 500 plus yards of offense in that game. I think it was against Pitt, but the defense responsible for 21 points, along with the special teams unit. Man, how special is that? I think I asked you this last time. How easy does this make it for the offense when the defense is playing at this level? And as Freeman says, this is not cap for these guys.
Oh, it's incredible. I think it builds confidence. It permeates through the entire football team. I just told them upstairs, when you play full, complete team football that complements each other across the board like we are right now, I think it makes our entire building across the board just kind of permeate with confidence and momentum. Our guys are playing with that right now, and it's a testament to full team football. And it sure provides a great feeling up there in the box when you see points being scored and you're not calling a play. It's just an awesome experience. Our defensive staff and those defensive players are playing lights out, and the special teams is doing the same. So we're trying to match that momentum.
When Sam Hartman was up there, you mentioned that he's 0-5 against Clemson, and even earlier in the season, you talked about his record against NC State probably not being the best, but those quote-unquote narratives, how much did that drive him as a competitor to go out there and change, what his standards may have been previously?
Sure, I'm sure it does. I think it's human nature to want that. There's anytime that you look back at the past, you want to be able to right it. Anytime you don't get a result you want, I'm sure, and I know him well enough to know that's real for him. I think as you get, I hate to admit with the gray in my beard now, right? I think as you go through this profession in life, it's less about what has happened and more about what you can control now that creates future results that you're going to be proud of. And that's how we live by it. Certainly how we try to prepare and give our guys the best chance, because we're trusting them to own the game plan and move forward fast and provide clarity for our players. And you want to do that with an edge. And wherever you find that edge is kind of different for each man, And if Sam finds it from that, so be it. But we're all finding ways to just continue to meet our standards.
As a tight ends coach, losing Mitchell Evans, and as part two to that question, the success of Chris Tyree, what he's been able to do as well.
Yeah, I would say to both of those, first, anytime you lose a player to any degree, but certainly one in your room, care about those guys so much. The work he's put in to put himself in a position to become a great player. So we're certainly hurting for Mitch, and wish him a speedy recovery. We're going to love him right through it. And then we'll challenge our guys to meet the standard for him and to celebrate what player he's become. And no better way to do that than go out and play well. To Chris Tyree, certainly not surprised of his growth. He's just continued to take steps along the way and done it with an open heart and a positive attitude, and been very eager to learn what it takes to learn the craft of the new position. And he's just getting kind of just seeing results from a lot of work that's kind of compounded and learning it. And it's just so fun to watch a kid see that success and do that.
Jeremiah Love's been close to breaking a few throughout the year. I guess, where has his growth come since game one till now?
Yeah, he's growing, to do what he's doing as a true freshman. Just the ability he has to play fast and be explosive in space is something that I think it catches your eye from the start of summer. So we're continuing to find ways to put him in those positions and allow him to grow and be ready for that success, and couldn't be just more happy for him and where he is, and not surprised by it all because he's tremendously talented. And I think you're going to see a lot of that in his future.
And then a little random question, but just facing Al Golden's defense in the spring and fall camp, I guess what makes that challenging for an offensive coordinator?
Well, it's not to give any help to any other future offensive opponents, right? But, I think there's no secret we knew what we were going against. It certainly wasn't like you were coming back in like, well, we knew, these guys they're great football players, it's a great staff and scheme. And when you combine those two, you're going to have a great defense. And who they are right now and how they're playing is no surprise to us. It's difficult because it's multiple, right? They own all their fits in the run game. They've got multiple ways to attack you in the pass game, but they can play you man outside. They're confident to do that, and they've got the secondary to do so. And anytime you don't have easy access throws and you get challenged that way and have multiple ways of attacking, it makes it hard, and that's what we fight all the time through spring and summer.
When you look at your offense, where are they at mentally, and how can they improve, after 3 regular season games of the season?
Yeah, it's about constant improvement in this program, period. That's what our head coach preaches. That's what we preach along our units. And it would be no different. I think for us is every game plan has its own little wrinkles, but at the end of the day, we've got to make sure that our guys are clear about how we want to attack them. We apply the fundamentals that are key and vital to us in both phases. I think our guys want that. I think that's what they want here. They want to grow and to become great. And I think that if we can challenge them in a way, but also keep in mind that our guys have got to be able to play fast, that's the balance that we're trying to make. And I think that's something we're improving upon each week.
Well, one last question.
What's the excitement behind playing at Clemson on the road, Death Valley noon game? What's the excitement that you're?
It's an honor. These are what you work for. This is what our players work for, and we've worked so hard throughout our all coaching careers to get to places like this where you play meaningful games in a stadium like that. And what Coach Sweeney's done to that place and the place it's been and sustained success for as long as he has is impressive in its own right. And for us to be able to go down there in a packed stadium and be a part of an awesome Saturday at noon is a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Sam, we talked about this in postgame, man, but the defense, man, how many Ferraris are you going to have to buy by the end of the season?
I don't know. I'm definitely running out of money. They're back ordered right now, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, they've been playing incredible football. I'm not sure if I'd call it complimentary football yet, but they're really dominating each opponent and really, obviously winning the game for us. I think it's a great opportunity for us as an offense to, we scored a lot of points, had a lot of yards, and had some really good field positions, and obviously we had two special teams touchdowns, which in any game when you get that on your side, it's always great, but there's always work to be done and improvements to be made. So defense has kept us in games and put us in great positions, and really grateful for that. But obviously we got to take care of the ball better on offense.
I want to get your thoughts on Mitchell Evans losing him for the season, and what that's kind of what those conversations been like with him since the injury, and how you're seeing the offense moving forward for the next 3 regular season games.
Yeah, I think speaking on Mitch, obviously it was having an incredible year. He was just in all phases, block, run game, pass game, everything. His leadership, his ability, his dependability, is just tough. It's a tough loss, but all the faith in the world for the guys coming up, right? We got Eli back a little bit earlier in the year, which is huge, obviously now without Mitch, and Coop, had his first touchdown, which was great to see, and to get him in the game. So it's going to be tough, but it's a next man up mentality in all phases, in all positions. So you see it across the board. You see it at QB where Steve goes in and throws a touchdown and operates really perfectly. So it was just great to see all those guys, young guys, get reps, get on the field anytime. You can get guys in real live situations. It's great. So a lot of confidence, and again, we'll excited for those guys to get their opportunities. Right, they've been waiting, and just really sucks for Mitch. And I know he's torn up about it, but he's in great spirits, and his everything looks as good as it can for him, and getting ready for surgery and whatnot.
Death Valley is it's a pretty tough place to play, loud, it's hot. How do you prepare for the challenge?
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. Played there twice. I'm 0-5 against Clemson in my career. Not something I'm proud about or like to brag about, right? And my parents live in South Carolina now, so there's a lot in it for us as a team, right? Us as a program, go down there and play well. It's like you said, it's a hostile environment, right? It's a 4-4 football team, but we know that one play here, one play there, they're going to be right in there in the conversation, and it's a different conversation. But we're approaching this game like we're playing Clemson, and we know that with that is a history of winning, a history of a really good program, and obviously is going to be excited and eager to have a game where they can play and be able to kind of get their season back going, and it's going to be a great challenge, and it's nothing like an Irish football schedule to have another challenging game, and not a night game, but still the afternoon they'll be ready and be rowdy, and so an excellent opportunity for us to go out and play another great game.
Where has that group of freshman receivers kind of grown the most since game one?
I think it's just like any guy that plays and gets meaningful reps, they just get that in-game experience, and my confidence and their confidence in me, and there's still going to be mistakes, there's still going to be things that you got to work on as a group. But I just think their ability right now to just run block, I think you can throw on the tape, and those guys are more excited about hitting somebody hitting a safety across the middle than catching a touchdown pass, and that's not normal, that's not everywhere. And so that I would say just their unselfishness to go do the dirty work, and then obviously be rewarded when they get that done is a testament to our offense and a testament to just that receiver room, and then everybody up front blocking for the reverse of that.
Sam, kind of a two-part question. Tell us a little about Audric Estime and him being one of the leading rushers in college football, and then where can you and the offense improve in the passing game as you get down to the stretch of this season?
Audric's incredible. He always has a great attitude, a great just kind of energy around him. His aura is felt on the field, off the field. Audric's going to show up and give everything he has. Every time he runs the ball, there's a chance for it to go, and he's so physical. And then also, it's just like you wouldn't even know he's leading in all these categories. He's having the season he had. He's a very humble guy, and he just comes up and yells my name as loud as he can and gives me a big hug. And he's a great guy to have on the team. And then obviously with his playing ability, it's incredible for our offense. And then I think we just there's just a lot of little details that myself, everybody on the offense, that we always just got to keep hammering away. You win like that, it's easy to kind of let some of the stuff go by the wayside. But Coach Parker and everybody in company is hammering that home to us to just focus on little details, and everything else to take care of itself.
Thanks, Sam.
Go Irish.
Thanks, man.
It's been quite a year for you, Xavier. Just talk about, you've been having a lot of interceptions, picks and stuff, tackles. Just talk about how you've been feeling, just how your confidence been going on this year.
Yeah, it's been good. Those plays have been exciting. It's been a good year so far, like you said. And this has been practice carrying over to the games. I just feel like I've been practicing really hard versus fall camp, so they're starting to show up, starting to work out for me as well. So, and then of course, just always credit my teammates for what's been happening. None of these plays would have happened without them doing their jobs first, and then obviously I've been executing off them doing their jobs too. So.
I was kind of going to ask a similar question. You just being a magnet to the ball recently, didn't have any interceptions in the last 2 games, but what's going on up front, I guess, that's allowing you to see the ball better and, just play faster on the ball?
Yeah, just our D-lines is getting a lot of good pressure. There's a lot of hands in the quarterback's face, making it hard for him to see where he wants to throw the ball or where he needs to go. So just that disruption up front is kind of just helping me be able to read the quarterback better and see where I capitalize off him not putting the ball where he wants to throw it.
We see you have a lot of conversations with coaches when you get to the sideline. What are those like? And then what's the conversations like with your parents, after a big game like that, as they're watching you and seeing how well you're doing in this season in general?
Yeah, coaches, coming off the sideline, they're like, all right, good job, but you still got the rest of the game to play. So it's kind of just like a short excitement, short living off the moment for this next play type of mentality. And then obviously after the game, you talk more about it when you watch film or whatever. And then obviously my parents, they're excited about it, whole family excited about it. So it's an exciting time. It's, like I said, it's been the hard work just paying off, and it's been good so far. So.
What have you seen from Christian Gray since he arrived to kind of allow him to find that success as a freshman?
Yeah, ever since Christian came in, we knew he was going to be special. like you said, he's from St. Louis. He's a freshman. He's got good size. He's fast. So he's just a good, hard-working kid. I mean, he works hard every day. I mean, he has great talent. So we just seen it in practice. There was his fall camp as well too. So it's just starting to show up and work out for him as well.
And then how have you kind of managed the hype of just some of the national media picking up on your game and everything like that, and your name showing up on some draft boards and whatnot?
I mean, I try not to pay too much attention to it. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's just a cool opportunity. It's like cool moment right now. But like, I still got to rest like 3-4 games left. So just try to finish that out and just focus on the future in the future. So just living in the moment right now.
What's it like preparing for a team like Clemson? Like obviously you prepared for them last year, but at home and now on the road, Death Valley noon game, man. What's that intensity like building up to that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we know we always go back and forth with Clemson ever since I've been here, since like 2020. They beat us, we beat them. So it just kind of, we know the type of game it's going to be. I mean, they're a hard, good working team. Obviously, the record doesn't show the type of good team they are, so we know it's going to be a dogfight. And obviously, their stadium is pretty rocking, so we'll be prepared for it. But just lock out the noise and be ready to go.
It seems like when one guy on the team gets a turnover, the rest kind of starts to pile on. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's just momentum. I mean, just those type of plays just bring energy, momentum. It just kind of feeds into other people. Somebody gets a big play, big tackle, somebody else will do it. It just kind of just shows that you can do it as well. So just those type of plays just bring momentum and just bring joy to the whole team.
We'll do one more question.
As you look at the opportunities for the younger guys in your position, you know, how are you able to set them up for success, or you know, that you're having right now, that you know, to kind of give them some hope that the hard work pay off?
Right. I mean, like I said, my journey's been hard. So I mean, just kind of just preaching to them that like everything's not gonna come at once. For some guys it does, for some guys it doesn't. So some things just take time. So I mean, just kind of just harping on them, just keep working hard. Some things are gonna come. Some things might take longer than others. So just kind of working hard. You don't know when something's gonna happen. So just keep going at it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thank you. JD, has it surprised you at all and how well you recovered from your injury and how productive you've been, or did you kind of feel that coming when you got cleared in the summer?
Oh, it didn't surprise me at all, and it didn't surprise anyone else. From my teammates to my family, they all knew I'd come back strong just because of the work I put in the off-season and recovery. So.
And then what do you kind of want to get out of the last 3 games of the year for yourself?
I feel like I've gotten better every week. I truly believe that, and I want to continue to get better. And the last 3 weeks had boosted my confidence extremely. So.
What's the excitement level, you know, in that running back room with the success you're having between all the guys, and especially going to a place like Death Valley to play the 10th game of the season?
Yeah, we're really excited, and it kind of reminds me of, you know, going back early in the season, NC State. You know, we had this kind of juice and excitement and energy going into that game. It's, you know, it was my first away game. A lot of us in the running back room was our first away game as Notre Dame football players. So just, you know, going into a different environment and showing what we have and showing, you know, proving ourselves to the world, you know, is the most exciting thing. And also going back to NC State when Audric broke, you know, coming out of the rain delay, that 80-yarder, and just that excitement. And we expect to see excitement like that this Saturday. So.
What's something that the rest of the world doesn't know about Jadarian? Is it Jadarian?
Jadarian.
What's something that the world doesn't know about Jadarian Price, you know, and what you bring to the running back room?
Devin Ford likes to call me even kill, and I've heard that once in my life, and that was from him. And I guess that just means, you know, I'm calm, cool, and collected. But when I need to be ferocious and, you know, tough and physical on the football field, that's when I show it. But, you know, just always being a respectful guy and, you know, really hyping up my teammates when they do good things, because I feel like I'm really altruistic. And, you know, when my teammates do good, it makes me feel better about myself, and in turn I do good. So.
Just talk about just working with Audric Estime, you know, you've been practicing with him. Is there anything you learned from just working with him?
Yeah, in practice, after every play, he'll tell me something I could have did better, something I did very, very well, and I'll always take that coaching from anyone. It doesn't matter if, you know, he was younger than me. If I respect him and he knows what he's talking about, then I'm listening. And just, you know, the success he's had in the past 2 years, from a guy like that, obviously you're going to respect it. But not only that, just how he carries himself on and off the field. You respect that as well. I mean, today we just had a presentation, and we were challenging each other. Who's going to stay in the library longer, me or him? And he ended up staying longer than me. So just looking up to someone like that has been. I'm really blessed to be his teammate. So.
One last question.
Kind of a random question, but just I guess participating in Halloween, giving back to the kids and stuff like that. I think that was today, right? What was that like for you guys to experience that? Just once again, this time of the year.
Yeah, most guys were able to do that, and not every day do you get to do things like that, and it just makes you feel good. As we're adults now. It makes you feel good as an adult, just being able to give back to the community and see smiling faces, kids, adults, teenagers, just anyone, just knowing the presence you have and the impact you're making on other people's lives, and that's the biggest thing. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You good, man. You got that INT, bro. You good. How was that moment, man? I'm sure you talked to your parents after that, your mom, for sure, after that moment.
She started crying, like tears out. When I FaceTimed her, she was like, Christian, oh my gosh, you got an interception. Oh my gosh, and it was a one hand. Oh my God. I was like, Mom, kinda, But after the game, I started hugging her. We both started crying because my grandma passed away in the summer, and she never really came to a football game of mine. So I had to do it for her, Had to do it for God and everything. So yeah.
What did you just kind of see on the interception? I guess how do you just kind of come down with it in the first place?
First I was like, oh shit, okay. He scrambled out. I got a plaster in my eye. I pushed him to the sideline and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm with him and everything. And then I heard Coach Mickey's yelling, look up, look up, look up. And I'm looking up. Oh, the ball in the air, and so I just panicked. I was just trying to be an athlete and just went over one hand, and then I was like, oh shoot. And then at first I couldn't really hear the crowd because I was so locked in on the game. And so when I looked up, I was just like, oh shoot. Came down with the ball. I just started hearing the crowd. And then the whole team just surrounded me, and I was like, wait, hold on, y'all. And they just started patting my head, and I'm like, I'm about to get a concussion, hold on. And then I just felt so much love from the team because I'm the little brother on the team and everything. And so they just all see me, and it's like, oh my gosh, little bro got a pick, oh my gosh. So it was just crazy. And I don't even know how more to explain that. So yeah.
Working Benjamin Morrison and Xavier Watts, they've proven to be ball hawks. Just what have you learned just being on the field, practicing with them, being up under their wing?
Practicing with them is just feels good. They know what they're doing. And they help me study the playbook in every way. So I know what I got to do. I know who's my help and who's not my help. And just being under them and just practicing with them, it's just fascinating. It's a blessing, really, because God put me in this predicament where I'm playing with them and I'm under them, and they're teaching me so many things because they're the older guys. They play football longer than me, and just learning from them is the best thing. So.
What's it like? You get to go up against guys like Sam Hartman that prepares you for other top-tier quarterbacks in college football. What's it like prepping against a quarterback like Sam Hartman?
It's amazing. It actually is because I can explain so many moments where he faked me out in cover two. It's insane how good he is and how he throws the ball and puts it in a place where even the DB I can't even get it and everything. So going against him is it just really is great, and it's just making me better. So yeah.
You're going into another crazy environment this Saturday, Death Valley. As a freshman, man, what's the excitement level there, going out there and, the possibility of coming back with a win because of the defense and what you guys have been able to produce?
It's feel amazing, actually, going there, because it's been my dream ever since playing in Death Valley. Not playing as a Tiger, but just playing in that environment. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true and everything. And going in there, it's just a blessing, really, to come in there and just go and ball out. At Clemson, really, just not really else to say, just to ball out and just really just dominate.
We got time for one last question. You want to answer?
Where's your improvement? What do you see, your improvement from week 1 to now coming into week 10 of the season? And how much of that do you attribute to Coach Golden and what he's been able to do with this defense?
My confidence level and everything, and my mindset really into even the showing on the field, because like my old self in the spring, I really didn't have that much confidence really into what I could do and my abilities until I started learning. I started growing. I started getting stronger, faster, playing smarter, playing better, and then my confidence just grew up in every way. So I just knew when Coach told me that I belong here, and I found out I belong here, I was just knew it. So it's all right, you just gotta go ball now. So
Awesome. Thanks, Christian.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.